the fact that the entire Black community isn't standing with us, to me, says either they just don't know, or they've been brainwashed to hate Jews.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Black people don't owe nobody anything but an ass whooping. End quote. John Henrik Clarke.
You just want to say, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck,
Hold up. We gonna get this work.
Let the governor say what he gonna say, and we gonna get this party started. You hear me? Okay, let's do it.
Salute! And welcome back to Unknown Soldier Radio. And I'm Dog Tag. Yeah. I remember there was a time when I thought that history was boring. And not boring in the fact that I didn't think that history was interesting. I just wasn't interested in the history that was being presented. And all of that would change in one day. And I was about in 5th or 6th grade, and it was during Black History Month, and we had to do a project for Black History and present it. It was going to be like a Black History Fair, so we all had to do a project for Black History. And, you know, the teachers, you know, we didn't know, so the teachers, they'll give you a list of, you know, a lot of Black historical figures, and you just pick which one that you want to do the project about. So as I make my way down this list of people that I don't know anything about, well, except Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, I had heard about him, but I wasn't too familiar with his ideologies as a kid. And there was Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, and hell, I think even Diana Ross is on the list. So during this time, we had libraries, but it wasn't like I could just get up and go, or I was going to be taken to the library just when I needed to go. So my grandparents had bought me a set of Encyclopedia Britannicas. And although I had this list before me, I didn't want my first real Black History project to be on Martin Luther King. Not because I didn't think at the time that he deserved it, but I just thought that there was nothing more I can add to what had happened to him at the time. And as I'm making my way down this list and through these pages of the Encyclopedia Britannicas, I come across this man, which I thought at the time he had a funny name. And this man that I thought that he had a funny name is no other than Crispus Attucks. And the man with the funny name by the name of Soldier Crispus Attucks, who was the first person to die of 5 in a war between British soldiers, which represented the British monarchy, which represented the British hierarchy against regular citizens or civilians that they deemed or called patriotic thugs.
You can't make this shit up.
So this black man with the funny name by the name of Crispus Attucks, an escaped slave who fought for his freedom, who thought he was free, although he wasn't in chains, found himself fighting in a revolution, which would be called the American Revolution, even though they didn't look at him as an American.
You can't make this shit up.
They wanted me for their army or whatever. Picture me giving a damn, I said never.
Am I clear to you? Can you see me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, or are you going to leave it on the ground? See, although this video isn't about Crispus Attucks, it is about Crispus Attucks, the man with the funny name, but it's not about him. Crispus Attucks represents the prototype. Crispus Attucks represents the precedent that will be set by black men who are willing to fight for this country and be shat upon by the very soldiers they fight next to.
Get to the chopper! You can't make this shit up.
Here is a land that never gave a damn about a brother like me and myself because they never did.
So here we are in 2023 with 2024 on the other side of the door, and I just don't get it. How people are walking around in this political, racial, immoral, and historical stupor. You don't have the right to undermine the embodiment of this so-called reconstructed sentiment as it relates in regards to foundational black Americans / American descendants of slaves and how we fared in this country after slavery. Because what you've done time after time after time is to continue to put a veneer of white supremacy on the cavity of racism and hide behind critical race theory and smiling in our face the whole time like we don't know all your teeth are rotten.
You can't make this shit up.
And now the Black community isn't embracing us and saying we stand with you the way you stood with us? Jews died for their cause. Where's the history lesson in that? Who's teaching these kids?
Siri, what was the Battle of the Bulge?
According to Wikipedia, the Battle of the Bulge, also known as the Ardennes Offensive, was the last major German offensive campaign on the Western Front during World War II. The battle lasted for 5 weeks from the 16th of December 1944 to the 28th of January 1945, towards the end of the war in Europe.
Attention! On the screen before you, and if you're listening via Bluetooth or through the cloud, is a picture of no other than the original Black Panthers, the 761st Tank Battalion. This all-black regiment of Black American soldiers, foundational Black American soldiers from the soil, from Camp Claiborne, Louisiana, will be the first all-black tank battalion in history. The 761st Tank Battalion was so good. This all-black regiment of soldiers was so good. Let me tell you how good they were. The original Black Panthers, the 761st Tank Battalion, was so good, they were recommended by General George S. Patton. And General George S. Patton told them, I don't care nothing about your skin color. All I want you to do is go fight and win and delete all them Germans to save the Jews.
You can't make this shit up.
Black soldiers, foundational Black American soldiers, have fought in every war this country has had since we've been on this soil. We have fought in the American Revolution. We fought in the War of 1812. We have fought in the Indian Wars. We fought in the Mexican-American Wars, the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Persian Gulf, and we're still fighting wars to this day. And after all these wars that we have fought in, whether it be home or abroad or international, to fight for the freedoms of others in other countries, and we come home and we're still not free.
You can't make this shit up.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.